Magic Masses! I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. 11 Years of Magic Part 2. The second part of the 11-year anniversary of Pro Wrestling Magic. Also was my first show since For Whom the Bell Tolls back in January. Lee Togo, I cannot sing like James Hetfield of Metallica. And like I told you before the show started, I don't want to end up with no voice. But I managed to get there like between 4:30 and 5, and there were some ahead of me already lined up by the side door, because I understand the Meadowlands YMCA closes to the public on Saturdays at 5 p.m. and Pro Wrestling Magic starts the shows at 6. Their shows at 6 o'clock. As soon as I got in, I went right to not where the wrestlers get ready, but the locker room of the YMCA, because I had to use the bathroom. And I think others had to do that too before entering the room to sit down for the show. But we kicked off the festivities with the Monday morning. It's easy for me to say. Monday Morning Magic taping. And by the way, I miss the old way Monday Morning Magic was done, where there'd be promos and incidents to help, keep the fans informed between shows. I don't know if PWM will consider going back to that, since I have brought it up. Okay, but it was a singles matchup, as we saw Brian Baum accompanied the ring by Aria Rose taking on Jonathan Bane, Bounty Hunter. Might as well. I mean, Jonathan Bane doesn't look anything like Lorenzo Lamas, who played the role of Reno Reigns on Renegade. That was a great show, folks. Jonathan Bane defeated Brian Baum at 7 minutes 9 seconds to pick up the victory. Up next was a triple threat match in the New Talent Initiative tournament. I think it was a semifinal match, as we saw Abs versus Tommy Hartfelt versus the Denim Dolphin, Julisi. I can understand not only this match, but the previous match I mentioned, the Monday morning Magic. I keep saying Monday morning for some reason. But I can understand they don't want to really get the crowd too excited for those who were already there, because people did show up after both of these matches were done. But this triple threat match was won by, as Julisi defeated Abs and Tommy Hartfelt and he has advanced to the finals of the New Talent Initiative tournament. There's going to be another semifinal match coming up. And then Shane Fair announced to the crowd the food that was being sold, and almost everybody went to get up and get something to eat, whether it was snacks, drinks. But me, I, had a hamburger, fries, and a drink. And those fries were very good. It's just that they put them in these little containers, and holding the bottom of it was very hot. So kudos to the gentleman who handed me some that was helping to sell the food. He gave me some napkins, like it's wouldn't burn my hand and stuff. And yeah, the fries are very good and all. I mean, everything was hot, and I don't know if it was just if they got from the outside or not. I don't know, folks. So then we finally get on with the main show of this event. As we and to my shock, and this is a surprise to, I'm sure a lot were surprised at this, we kicked off with our first championship match, as we saw the Ferocious Beast V. Daniel challenge the good guy, Azrael, for the heavyweight championship. Shocking to see a heavyweight title start an event. But, I don't know if this was the first ever meeting, and, of course, Azrael is a very seasoned and grizzled veteran, and V. Daniel, I'm not sure how long he's been wrestling, but these two matches really get the crowd going in the main show. The good guy Azrael defeats the Ferocious Beast V. Daniel to retain the heavyweight championship at 10 minutes 1 second. I don't know if I mentioned it, but that triple threat match of the Monday Morning Magic taping went 9 minutes 19 seconds. Right after Azrael picked up the victory, out comes El Pacto Diabolico, EPD. And yes, their fans were there, including the lady with the face paint. Um, Out came Marcelos, Ray Ray Mars, Justin Vane, Eden. Okay, I think that was it. And Mateo, you say, I made an open challenge for my Dark Arts Championship. And out comes All Heart Johnny Vega. And the match was on. I forgot when Johnny Vega even debuted for Pro Wrestling Magic, but um, eventually, like, Mateo went over to the commentary area. John Harder, who I remember commentating for Ace Pro Wrestling in the past, he was over there. Front Row Mikey did not make this show for some reason. Eventually, so much was brought into play. I mean, stop sign, a garbage can. Mateo defeats Johnny Vega at 12 minutes 17 seconds to retain the Dark Arts Championship. Not content with the victory, Mateo, Ray Ray Mars, Eden, and Justin Vane are all like stomping away at this poor kid Vega. But out comes Star Killer Steve Off, and he's right face to face with Mateo. I don't know what they were arguing about. At one point, Off took his hand, put it over Mateo's mouth, but then Vega hits Off in the balls. And I guess it was Johnny Vega's initiation into EPD, El Pacto Diabolico. And they left Steve laying. Up next, we had tag team action as we saw the Leather Jacket Mafia, Vincent Michaels and Franco Costanzo, do battle with El Tirador, Alex Rivera, and his uncle, Antonio Rivera, the Latin Revolution. A very fun tag team match this was, and great to see the crowd really enjoying it. Eventually, the Latin Revolution pick up the victory over the Leather Jacket Mafia at 10 minutes, 31 seconds. After the match, Michaels, he got a hold of Costanzo's cane. It looked like the one end of the cane reminded me of the Hollywood fashion plate, the late classy Freddie Blassie. Of course, Blassie, for most fans, are way too young to remember who that was. And Blassie was known for coining the phrase, pencil neck geek. He would call people that in wrestling. Ah, you pencil neck geek. I never got to meet Blassie, but many said he was very, very kind away from the ring, even though he spent most of his career as a villain. But yeah, as I said, Michaels attacked Costanzo with his own cane, and eventually Michaels went over to their merchandise table. He grabbed a chair along with an 8x10 of the Leather Jacket Mafia picture, and he's Vincent is wailing a wail on Franco with the chair, and like the other referees come out, and I'm thinking to myself, why can't you just grab the chair from the guy? You don't want to get physical with the wrestler, obviously, but just grab the chair. Stop him from using the chair. So I don't know if this is what this means. I remember at one point Scarlett Maiden, can't remember how she pronounces the last part of her wrestling name. I don't know if this group is totally no more. I don't know if this means Vincent Michaels and Franco Costanzo will go at it at a future show or not. Of course, Michaels and Costanzo had issued a challenge back at Whiskey in the Jar last month because Alex Rivera beat Michaels back at Kingdom Come 10, a hair versus hair match. From there, it was on to our next. We were scheduled next match was scheduled to be Smiley challenging Eden for the Junior Heavyweight Championship, but Eden comes to the ring with Mateo Marcelos, Justin Vane, Ray Ray Mars. I forgot if Johnny Vega came out as well. And Eden took the microphone. He told everybody, Smiley chose not to come to work. He's not here. Smiley's music starts to play, and then Eden's laughing on the microphone, and Eden saying, Smiley doesn't care about you people. And then he ordered the ref, Eden and Mateo order the ring the bell, ring the gong, and start a 10 count. And officially, because the announcement was made, Eden defeated Smiley by count out forfeit at 25 seconds to retain the Junior Heavyweight Championship. Okay, up next, we had a history-making match as we saw the sassy assassin Killer J do battle with Journey Burke Esquire, who was a former women's champion. And this match was to determine the first ever Pro Wrestling Magic Women's Dark Arts Champion. Good match these two ladies had. I believe this was Journey Burke's first match in months, because initially Burke was supposed to challenge for the Women's Championship back at Kingdom Come 10, but she didn't make the show. These ladies did very good. Hopefully Killer J gets more bookings, not just in Pro Wrestling Magic, but anywhere. Journey Burke Esquire defeats Killer J at 13 minutes, 34 seconds to become the very first Women's Dark Arts Champion, and then out from the curtain comes Mateo Marcelos to congratulate her. So, obviously, Journey's still part of EPD. And then ring announcer Shane Fair, who was kind of standing near me through most of the show. He says to Journey, I'm going to, use the month of May to rest up, because you're going to have your first ever defense of the Women's Dark Arts Championship Saturday, June 20th at Hardwired, as Burke will be defending against Vicious Vicky Venuto. Is that how you pronounce her last name? So there's a match for the June 20th show already, folks. All right. Up next was the third and final match in the Dark Arts Challenge series. We ended up seeing it was the Star Killer, Steve Off, accompanied ring by Heel Son Luke, El Rotundo, forgot what part of his name again, and I don't know if that was Steve's actual father with the gray beard. They called him, I forgot which Off they called him, as Steve did battle with the Plexusist Troy Locke. A good match these two were having. Troy Locke ended up defeating Steve Off at 9 minutes exactly to win the Dark Arts Challenge 2-1, because Troy, back at Kingdom Come in December, Troy Locke had defeated Cheeseburger. However, he lost to the freshly Trey Felipe last month at Whiskey in the Jar. But by virtue of his second victory, now Troy Locke gets a fast pass at the Dark Arts Championship. All right, next up, we were scheduled to see two members of El Pacto Diabolico challenge the Revolver's Chamber, Brandon Downey and Lugosi, for the tag team title. Well, that was earlier in the day. Downey was doing a promo, and then all of a sudden he hears a noise. The promo aired on Pro Wrestling Magic's Instagram. I don't know if it aired on their Facebook or not. Downey heard a noise, and he runs and sees Lugosi down on the floor with a chair over his head. Well, El Pacto Diabolico comes out. Mateo Marcelos, Justin Vane, Ray Mars. 3 of them are out there. Brandon, and they were going to do a thing they did with Eden and Smiley, do a 10 count. But Brandon Downey comes to the ring by himself with both tag belts. And Mateo is saying, I haven't decided which 2 members of us are going to challenge for the belt. So he said it was going to be a singles match. And it was Ray Mars taking his jacket off, but it was Justin Vane wrestling Brandon Downey. And then, I don't know how, I guess, maybe I didn't know, Eden eventually comes up to the apron, tags in, and Brandon Downey was doing good for himself, but was all for naught, as apparently Justin Vane and Eden defeated Brandon Downey in what turned into a handicap match at 9 minutes, 52 seconds to win the tag team championship. Now, since Eden is currently the junior heavyweight champion, I wouldn't be surprised if EPD exercises that fabulous Freebird rule where any two members of the group will defend the tag team championship. Now, for those out there keeping score or not keeping up with Pro Wrestling Magic, there is only one remnant of gold El Pacto Diabolico does not have at this time. I don't know what they're going to do as far as if anybody there is going to be, if anybody in that group is eventually going to challenge Azrael for the heavyweight championship. Now, another thing, with the addition of Johnny Vega, let's see who, if I may lose track, but the members of the group, we have Mateo Marcelos, Eden, Justin Vane, Ray Mars, Johnny Vega, Journey Burke Esquire, Tiffany Grady, the women's champion who was not even announced for this particular show. Trixie, who was not in attendance. La Bruja, I guess not in attendance either. I'm trying to think, am I missing somebody else? I think I may be missing one or two members, but then again, I mean, it's just quite a huge group, as we know, Pacto Diabolico. All right, then it was time for the main event as Jay Lethal was set to finally face his student Dan Murdoch. I'm surprised Lethal's father was not in attendance for this event. I know it's been I think 2 years since Lethal's mother had passed away. Glad that Lethal came out to Static X's Push It, which was his entrance music on independent promotions before he made it to TNA and all these other accomplishments. Funny thing was, as Shane Fair was making the introductions, Murdoch handed him a special introduction to Lethal, and he went over his accomplishments, saying that Lethal is a former TNA Tag Team Champion, former TNA X Division Champion, former Ring of Honor, they said Ring of Honor Tag Champion, but I forgot who he held it with. Former Ring of Honor Pure Champion, former Ring of Honor TV Champion, former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Now, if anybody out there thinks that's a lot, not what Shane Fair did not mention is Jay Lethal is also a former Jersey All Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champion, former Jersey All Pro Wrestling Light Heavyweight Champion, former Jersey All Pro Wrestling Television Champion, former Jersey All Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. He was also a former Ace Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. I forgot what other championships he's held on the independents throughout the years, but that is quite an impressive resume. And just as they were about to lock up, Mateo Marcellus comes through the curtain, and I forgot what he said to Murdoch, and then Lethal just kind of takes Murdoch out of the way, and Lethal hits a baseball slide on Mateo, and he goes flying into the aisle. And then eventually Mateo comes out with Ray Mars, Justin Vane, Eden. I don't know if Johnny Vega came out as well, but they were holding both of these guys off. Murdoch eventually hit his I forgot what he called it, the move that Murdoch had invented that Lethal used. He nailed Lethal with that move. They were trying to do it to each other up the match. They were countering. Dan Murdoch defeats Jay Lethal at 12 minutes, 15 seconds. And after the match, I think they both took the microphone, and Lethal was saying, "Are you happy with the way you won?" And I forgot other things. Like I said, guys, over the years, every time these shows end, everything is so blurry, as Puddle of Mud said. And And Lethal says, you need my help, just ask. And then Murdoch asked Lethal to come back in the ring, and he said, it was nearly 20 years ago. You helped me get started on this journey as a pro wrestler. And Murdoch called into the ring John Harder, who commentated the show, uh, Joseph, Giovanni Maranca, Ed Scanlon. He and his brother Tom were the BS Express at Ace Pro Wrestling, and also Rob Vegas, who was in attendance as well. They all came in the ring. Only person missing, Thomas the Gate Rodriguez. I remember Thomas Rodriguez and Giovanni Maranca had great matches against each other in Ace Pro Wrestling, and because Murdoch mentioned Union City, New Jersey, which was the birthplace of Ace long ago. And then, yeah, they all finally leave the ring. All right, personal notes. Oh, it's great seeing Caitlin, Shane Fair, Elliot. I have to say, for those who missed this event, namely Bill Parham, Jason Bob 87, Fernando and Bruno, collectively the Cuban Hype Men. You know, you missed a good one here. A lot of kids sitting near me, and aside from them, there weren't like too many people making noise to this show. Okay. I forgot to mention, after the tag title change, Shane Fair tells Brandon Downey, you know, you keep your head up high, and basically gave him praise for doing ring crew and such. Okay. By the way, also, when I mentioned about the food, I had some real buttery popcorn. I could smell it from my seat. Yeah. Oh, another thing. Let me see what else I could get to here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we got some memorable quotes. We want Unk! We want Unk! The crowd, when they wanted Alex Rivera to tag his Uncle Antonio in the Latin Revolution versus Leather Jacket Mafia match. Barbershop. Shane Fair, when he mentioned about Vincent Michaels turning on Franco Costanzo, and Shane Fair like, oh, it's always a Michaels doing it. Making reference to when Shawn Michaels did a number on Marty Jannetty when they broke up on the old barbershop segment. Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Pro Wrestling Magic returns to action on Saturday, May 16th with Saint Anger. And already announced for this event, we have the Brooklyn Outlaw Donovan challenging Dr. Sleep Anthony Gangone for the Respect Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. We have Smiley taking on the Revolver Alex Ryman in a match where the winner will be added to the Dark Arts Championship. Is it? Yeah, I think that's what he said. The Dark Arts Championship match at Hardwired on June 20th. Already Troy Locke is in the match with whoever the Dark Arts Champion will be June 20th, and the winner of the Smiley Ryman match will be in that Dark Arts title match as well on June 20th. Okay? Also, when Shane Fair announced told Brandon Downey to keep his head up, he said there's going to be I don't know, he said it's a 4-way or 4-team gauntlet match on May 16th. And the 4 teams are making their return, the former tag team champions, Nate Carter and David McCall and Nate Wallace, the Rep, Star Killer Steve Off and the American Outlaw Dan Murdoch, the Sons of Old School. The Stepdads, I forgot who they are individually. And All Due Respect, or are they called All Due Disrespect? My understanding that's the Freshly Trey Felipe and the mayor of Scumbag City, John Tella. Also, Actually, hold that thought, folks. Okay, also happening for St. Anger on May 16th. Tiffany Grady defends the Women's Championship against Rebecca J. Scott. We will see Cotton Candy Princess Tiffany Avatar defend the OWR Platinum Championship against Emily J. Based on the flyer here, also appear will be Isaiah Wolf. Obviously, we'll have heavyweight champion Azriel, Dark Arts champion Mateo Marcelos. I don't know which two members are going to defend the tag belts of EPD. But, obviously nice to see the wheels are in motion also for Hardwired on June 20th. I take it that's going to be the All Steel Cage show. They've been doing that the last few years in the month of June. All right. Let me see. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I was thinking, now we have a women's dark arts championship. I don't know if there's going to be I believe there's going to be a women's, I don't know if there's going to be a women's junior heavyweight championship as well. I don't know, I know in the past, Pro Wrestling Magic had a junior tag team champion, they had trios champions in the past. I don't know, maybe a dark arts tag team title, perhaps someday, Pro Wrestling Magic? Maybe, I don't know, maybe, I know they're really, and I'm wondering, they already have show dates throughout the summer, so I don't know if that's going to be at the Meadowlands YMCA, or will they go that baseball stadium in Patterson again? All right, let me see. So who's to say when Jay Lethal will return, if he does return to Pro Wrestling Magic in the future. After the event ended, I took a lift over to Rutherford train station, because what I did was, to get there, I took a 163 bus from Port Authority, got off at Patterson Plank Road and Murray Hill Parkway. I did that, then took a lift to the show, but in reverse, I took a lift over to Rutherford train station, and I actually, it turned out a one-way from Rutherford to New York Penn Station is $6 and change, and I would have had to change trains in Secaucus. But it was only $5 and change to take a bus from that area from Rutherford to get back to the Port Authority in New York City. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Now throughout the night, ring announcer Shane Fair was mentioning about a certain song. Where it featured an old lady. Well, whether or not you didn't remember the name of the song, maybe you'll remember it now, Shane. Watching fame, mirror vein, gone insane, but the memory remains. Heavy rings on fingers wave, another star denies the grave. See the nowhere crowd, crowd the nowhere tears of honor. like twisted vines that grow. Hide and swallow mansions whole, dim the light of an already faded prima donna. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane, but the memory remains. Heavy rings hold cigarettes up to lips that time forgets, while the Hollywood sun sets behind your back. And can't the band play on? Just listen, they play my song. Ash to ash, dust to dust, fade to black. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane. Dance, little tin goddess. Na 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 da 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 da. Drift away, fade away, little tin goddess. Ash to ash, dust to dust, fade to black. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane. Fortune, fame, mirror vein, gone insane, but the memory remains. Ash to ash, dust to dust, fade to black, the memories remain. Yeah, the faded prima donna. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dance, little tin goddess, dance. Da 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 I'm still a little bummed out. That very Metallica song was not going to be titled for the Metallica theme here in 2026, but we got to hear me sing it. Oh boy. But yeah, what a night it was, and it was great to be back. And yes, I'll be at St. Anger on Saturday night, May 16th, and quite a show already awaits with the matches that already have been announced. But of course, with El Pacto Diabolico having almost all the gold, where the heck does everything go from here? So, folks, hope you enjoyed this, and Magic Masses, Hope to see you all there May 16th.